Star Wars Acolyte is the first all-new live-action project we've gotten since Disney took hold of Star Wars. But there have been some concerns with the Sith in the show. Welcome to Star Wars Uplink. It is less than 2 weeks away from Star Wars Acolyte's release, and honestly, I am struggling to wrap my mind around that sentence right there. Where has the time gone? I do not know. But with this show comes a lot of questions around the future of Star Wars, or technically, this is the past of Star Wars, and it's going to impact how we perceive the eventual future of Star Wars and the just in terms of what shows are going to be coming out, and also that one line in Phantom Menace, we have not seen the Sith in millennia. That is the big question. That's the big concern that a lot of people are having with Star Wars Acolyte. Will it break canon? Should it break canon? Should it not break canon? There's so many questions with just that one line. But there's something interesting here, and it comes with this theory around the truth, or theorized truth, of the Sith, or fake Sith. I stumbled upon this theory around the Acolyte and how they could get around this concern about the canon of Star Wars, of taking away from that one single line in The Phantom Menace. And honestly, they've done worse things in the past. George Lucas himself has done worse things in the past than make one single line irrelevant, really. But this is definitely a concern from a good portion of the fan base. This theory, though, poses this idea that these are not actually true Sith, and they could in fact be imposter Sith. They could be playing with this idea of the Sith as this huge historical figure, that they know all of the history around the Sith. They know of the reverence of the Sith, and how if they were to return, it marks a whole lot of other things that it would start, basically. And this theory opposes that this is just the first domino to fall, that these imposter Sith are the reason that the real Sith start to come out of the woodworks, because this is about 100 years before the Phantom Menace. This is when certain things would begin to start the motion, that they would knock over the dominoes for the cracks in the foundation to really start forming in both the Jedi and their strength, as well as the Sith and their plans to take over the galaxy. No matter if these are Sith or they aren't Sith, or what definition that we want to do, there's many different ways that this seeming retcon could actually just not be a problem at all. They could just say, no, these are corrupted. They are just not Jedi. They are in fact dark Jedi. They are corrupted Jedi. They are there's many different things. They're just people on the dark side of the Force without having to be the Sith. That is something that can happen, because if you look at just the history of Palpatine, and then Count Dooku, and then Darth Maul. Darth Maul was originally posed as not a Sith, and then there's just the whole almost ridiculous idea of the Inquisitors. The Inquisitors are dark Force users, but they are technically not Sith, because Sith is the whole rule of two. They're just Force-sensitive people with red lightsabers that are following the orders of another Sith. So when you think about it, this isn't as huge of a deal as you might see, but I really like this theory about having these two individuals, or this one individual, depending on what theories you subscribe to, basically be the originators of the problems, the actions that this character or characters actually take part in, are the reason that we see the eventual rise of the Sith. The Sith were more than happy to stay in the shadows, ruling with their own fiefdoms wherever they are in the galaxy, hiding in the shadows. That this is the moment that they are almost forced a little bit into the light. We now see the Jedi understanding that there is a threat. There is something hidden in the galaxy that they do not know about. There are these characters and these people in the galaxy that could end up destroying everything that they've built up through the decades or centuries or millennia, depending on how far back you want to go. But I love this idea that they are the first domino to start falling, that they are the first crack in the foundation that ultimately takes out the entire Jedi Order. And that's a big part of what the show has to do, because it takes place so soon in Star Wars timeline era situations, 100 years before The Phantom Menace. Because it takes place during this time frame, they have a lot of freedom with what they can get away with, but they also have to start showcasing the faults in the Jedi, because given the opportunity, you got to make sure that the actions within The Phantom Menace and then Attack of the Clones and then Revenge of the Sith, they make sense. That it actually makes sense for the hubris of the Jedi to take hold and basically destroy everything that they've built up. Do I think this is going to be a fully explored, like explicit, like, hey guys, this is where the Jedi started going astray, blah, blah, blah. Like, I do not think that is going to be in this show, but I do think those themes are going to be there. I think they're going to have to say, hey, this is why the Jedi are in the place that they are. This is why the Jedi are doing the things that they are currently doing. This is why the Jedi Master did what the Jedi Master did. There are things that have to be told in this story, and that's what I'm really excited about. Star Wars Acolyte is doing something completely new. It's set in a different time period that we haven't seen in live action before. It is set with characters that we've never seen before, majority of characters that we've never seen before, and depending on if Yoda shows up, characters we've never seen in live action before. That's who these stories are told about. And showcasing a main character that we know nothing about. It's really going back to the roots of the original trilogy and trying to do something new. The writer's room itself had someone who was only a fan of the original trilogy, only a fan of the prequel trilogy, and a fan of the sequels. Like, these are the people that, and someone that wasn't even involved in Star Wars, that just was there to kind of consult on just the story itself. That is what I'm most excited about to see with Acolyte. There are so many times where if you don't know Star Wars, this story isn't going to be for you. I think Ahsoka was very much that story, but we'll see what Acolyte ends up doing. I'm excited to see where it goes in the future. Let me know your thoughts, though. I really want to hear your thoughts about this theory around the Sith and the Acolyte. Are they actually the Sith? Will they just become the Sith? Is this all a ruse, a fake thing, a ploy to move the plot forward? Let me know in the comments below, because that is definitely something that we've seen done in the past, and they could totally do again, of like showcasing the evil big bad, and then it's sliced through and it's just smoke. Let me know in the comments below. Check out our podcast, and may the Force be with you.